Stan stood on the bridge between South and North Park. He looked down at the dirt ground underneath. This is it, I guess. He took a swig of his whiskey that he stole from his dad. Randy never noticed anyways. Stan swung his legs over the railing and sat himself on it. He took another swig, before dropping it off the edge. Just gotta lean forward and it will be over. Kenny headed back to his house after a long day of work. Part-time at City Walk paid less than minimum wage, but at least it was something. He approached his door and saw a note on it. What the? He took it off of the door and started reading it. Hey Kenny, Stan here. I figured you wouldn't check the mailbox, so I decided to just take this to your door. Your parents are too lazy to take it off the door, so I figured it would be fine. I'm sorry for what I'm about to do, dude. I just can't do it anymore. The only thing that's been keeping me sane is alcohol and you guys, but I don't think it's enough. Wendy told me that I'm turning into my dad with all of this drinking. I know she is just worried, but that scared the shit out of me. I don't want to end up like my dad. I would never be able to live with myself. I guess I won't have to worry about that anymore, huh? Lol, I shouldn't joke about that. Also, I probably shouldn't write lol in a suicide note. I hope Kyle won't be too mad at me. I wrote him one as well, but he probably won't get it until tomorrow. He's at David's house right now and is probably spending the night as he always does. I should get to the point of this letter, before I run out of space. I'm so sorry for this. I'll miss you, Kenny. You are so important to me, dude. Please stay safe. I know you and Karen will get out of there soon. Take care of the guys for me as well. I love you lots, man. Goodbye. Shit, fuck. Kenny punched the door. I have to find him, fuck I have to find him. Kenny grabbed his bike and sped off. He got out his phone as he was pedaling and called Stan. There was no answer. Wait, Kyle. He might know. Kenny got out his phone and dialed Kyle's number. Hello? Kyle. Do you still have Stan's location thingy on? You mean location sharer? Kyle leaned back on David's bed. Yes, that thing. Kenny pedaled faster, not sure where he was even heading. Yeah, it should be on still. Why? Share it with me, now. Dude, I can't just share Stan's information like that. I only have it for when Stan needs me to pick him up when he gets too pissed drunk. Kyle, Stan is going to die if you do not give me that information right now. Do you want that? Huh? Kyle sat up quickly. What the fuck are you talking about? You better not be joking around, Kenny, or I swear. I'm running out of fucking time, Kyle. Just send the fucking address. I'm not fucking joking. You better explain yourself as soon as you can. I'll send it now. Thank you. I'll keep you updated. Kenny hung up his phone and a few seconds later, he got a text from Kyle with the location information. You better be okay or I swear. Kenny set up the location in Maps, trying not to cut himself on his phone's cracked glass. Only 5 minutes. Come on, Stan, please. Stan dropped his phone to the other side of the rail. Maybe someone will find a use for it. Stan looked down at the shattered glass from the bottle. This better do the trick. He was about to lean forward when he heard someone coming. Stop. Kenny pedaled up to the bridge and got off of his bike, panting. Kenny? Stan, what the fuck? Get down from there. No, Stan said sternly. What do you mean no? Stan, you can't do this. Come on, please. I have to, Kenny. You don't understand, I can't do this anymore. Stan's eyes started tearing up. I can't. Stan. I'm sorry, Kenny. Tears ran down Stan's cheeks. Stan, please, don't do this. I need you. We all need you. You are so important, dude. Kenny stepped forward towards Stan. Stay back. Kenny paused, misstep. I'm not important. You guys will be fine without me. You have each other. You won't have to take care of my sorry ass anymore. Stan was full on crying at this point. We won't be fine. Kenny yelled. This will fuck us up for life. We would never be fine again. We would lose one of our best friends. Can you imagine how Kyle would feel? Kyle will be fine. He is always with David nowadays anyways. Yet, he has been working on their end of the year AP English project non-stop. You know how Kyle is about school. Plus, I need you, dude. Stan reached up to wipe his nose, almost slipping in the process. Kenny ran forward. I said stay back, Kenny. I will go over the edge right now if you come closer. Stan Marsh, I fucking need you here. You don't understand how important you are to me. Please. Kenny started crying, falling to his knees. Please. Kenny, Please, Stan. Stan looked down again and then back to Kenny. Even if I wanted to, I don't think I can swing my legs back over without falling. Kenny stood up, wiping his tears away. Let me help you. Stan stared at him, before nodding slowly. Kenny ran over and pulled Stan over the railing into his arms. Stan fell onto Kenny and Kenny squeezed him close. I thought I was going to lose you, dude. Kenny cried into Stan's shoulder. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Stan squeezed him back. It's okay, you're safe now. Suddenly a car pulled up and someone jumped out of it. Stan. Kyle shouted and ran over to them. Kyle? Stan looked up. Kyle fell onto Stan, who was still on top of Kenny. After Kenny called asking for your location, I kept thinking about it. Kenny said that he would handle it, but I got too worried. I eventually decided to check it and I saw you were at the Lendl Bridge. I've never been that scared in my life, dude. I ran out of David's house without saying anything and drove here. I'm sorry for worrying you. Worrying is an understatement. Fuck, Stan. You terrified me. I'm so glad Kenny was here, shit dude. Me too. Stan buried his face into Kenny's chest. I got you, Stan. We are here. We aren't going to let anything bad happen to you. How about we go to my house? My parents are out of town and my brother is at his weird goth friend's house. I really don't want you to be alone right now. Scratch that, I'm not going to let you be alone right now. Stan nodded into Kenny's chest. Kyle got up off of Stan and reached out his hand to help Stan up. Once he got Stan up, he reached out to help Kenny. Kyle got into the driver's seat of his car and Stan and Kenny got into the back. Kenny held Stan close the entire drive. Hey guys, we're here. Kyle looked back at the two of them, snuggling. Stan nodded and headed out of the car, followed by Kenny. They into the house and upstairs to Kyle's room. You guys can borrow some pajamas. Do you need any food or anything? Kyle asked, concerned still. I'm fine, I just want to lay down, Stan replied, heading to Kyle's drawers to get some p's. After they all changed, Stan lay in bed, followed by Kyle and Kenny. Stan was in the middle, the boys on either side of him. We are going to have to tell your mom tomorrow. You need to get help, Stan. Kyle cuddled into him. I'm scared. Kenny cuddled into him on the other side. We'll be with you. We aren't leaving your side. Kenny kissed the side of Stan's head. Thanks you guys. Kyle kissed the other side of Stan's head. Of course dude. You are my super best friend. I'm not going to let you leave me like that. Stan blushed and grabbed their hands. What did I do to deserve you guys? Not be a complete asswipe and dealing with our bullshit? Kenny joked. Shit, Cartman is going to end up finding out. Stan groaned. Probably, but he doesn't want you dead either. He will probably be more shocked than anything, Kyle replied. I just want to lie here forever. Stan squeezed their hands. "We love you, dude." Kenny kissed Stan's cheek. "I love you guys too." Stan kissed Kenny's cheek. Kyle quickly kissed Stan's cheek. "Jealous?" Stan joked. "Shut up, I wanted it to be even." Stan kissed Kyle's cheek back. "There, even." He grinned. Kyle blushed and buried his head into Stan's chest. "As much as I love spreading the love, we should probably sleep soon. Stan is probably exhausted." "I mean, I personally don't mind continuing this for a bit longer." Stan smiled at Kenny. "You can't just smile all cutely and pretend that things are okay. You need to sleep." Stan huffed, pouting. Kenny sighed. "One kiss." He leaned forward and pressed his lips against Stan's. Stan smiled into the kiss and pulled him closer. A few seconds later, Kenny pulled away. "There." Kenny grinned. Before Stan could respond, Kyle pulled Stan into a kiss. He reached up to tangle his fingers in Stan's hair. Kenny waited for a bit, seeing if they would stop. "Ah, fuck it." Kenny leaned over and started kissing Stan's neck. Stan moaned into Kyle's mouth, moving his neck to give Kenny more access. Kyle pulled away and looked into Stan's eyes. "I want to make you feel good. I want us both to make you feel good. You deserve it, Stan." Kenny started pushing up Stan's shirt, running his hands up his sides. Stan lifted his arms up to make it easier for Kenny to take off his shirt. The moment it was off, Kenny leaned down and flicked his tongue across his nipple. Stan let out a moan and Kyle quickly pulled him into a rough kiss. Kenny continued playing with Stan's nipples, his mouth on one and his fingers playing with the other. He was already getting hard, just from watching Stan squirm. Kyle bit down on Stan's lower lip, before sliding his tongue into his mouth. Stan was shaking, overwhelmed with all of this pleasure. Kenny sat up and looked at Stan. "I want to do something if it's okay with you guys." Kyle pulled away and looked at Kenny. "I want Kyle to fuck Stan as I suck him off." Stan shivered and looked over at Kyle. "You good with that, Kai?" Kyle grinned and pulled Stan into another kiss. "I guess that's a yes." Kenny moved down and slid off Stan's pants, followed by his underwear. "Wow, you're gorgeous." Kyle pulled away to check out the view. "Wow." Stan blushed. "Well, aren't you guys going to strip? I can't be the only one naked." Kyle and Kenny smiled at each other, before taking off their clothes. "Kenny, can you grab the lube and condoms from the drawer?" "Oh, Kyle is all prepared." "Have you been waiting for this?" Kenny smirked as he opened the drawer. "Shut up, you never know." "Guys?" Stan looked up at them, hard and dripping. "I'm sorry baby, come here." Kenny pulled him into a kiss. Kyle came up behind Stan and grabbed the lube. He coated his fingers with this and slowly dragged his finger down his lower back, rubbed his finger against Stan's entrance. Stan groaned into Kenny's mouth. He slowly circled his finger around Stan's hole, before pushing it in. Kenny pulled away and started kissing down his chest. Kenny, Kyle. Stan tangled his hands in Kenny's hair. "You're doing so good, Stan," Kyle said, kissing his back as he continued fingering him. "Can you add another?" Kyle smiled, before pushing another one in, causing Stan to let out a moan. Kenny kissed all over Stan's inner thighs, softly biting them. "Can I add the last one?" Kyle asked, softly. Stan nodded, pushing back into Kyle's fingers. Kyle slowly slipped in the last one, stretching him open. Kenny moved to Stan's dick and gently licked the head. Stan tightened the grip on Kenny's hair, legs shaking. "I think you're ready, Stan." Kyle pulled his fingers out and opened the condom, putting it on and coating himself with lube. "Please Kai." Kyle pushed himself in slowly, pulling Stan close. At the same time, Kenny put his lips around Stan's cock, taking it into his mouth. Fuck, Stan moaned loudly. Kyle smiled and kissed Stan's head, before pulling out and pounding back into him. Kenny took Stan deep into his throat, letting him fuck his throat. Kenny, Kyle, fuck. You guys are incredible. Kyle started going faster, kissing and biting at Stan's neck. It didn't take long for Stan to finish, Kyle finishing right after. Kenny swallowed, before sitting back up, grinning. His hair a mess from Stan pulling at it. Kyle pulled out and kissed Stan's shoulder. Stan sat in bliss for a few seconds, before turning to Kenny. Wait, you didn't get off. Actually, Kenny moved and showed the bed, covered in cum. You looked really good. He blushed. Wow, Stan started in awe. We should sleep now. We have a long day tomorrow, Kyle said, lying down. I forgot about that, Stan replied, sighing. You are going to get the help you need and it's going to be great. Kenny lay down as well, pulling Stan down with him. I guess. We will be with you every step of the way. We promise. Kyle cuddled into him. We aren't going anywhere. Kenny cuddled into him on the other side. Stan nodded. I love you guys. We love you too. Kyle closed his eyes. Good night, baby. Kenny kissed Stan's shoulder and shut his eyes. Night, Stan. Good night, you guys, Stan said, before drifting off to sleep.